Hello, in today's video I am here to explain you how to write research methodology. The research methodology section of any academic research paper gives you the opportunity to convince your readers that your research is useful and will contribute to your field of study. An effective research methodology is grounded in your overall approach, whether quantitative and qualitative, and adequately describes the methods you used. Justify why you choose those methods over others. Then explain how these methods will provide answers to your research questions. The first step is to restate your research problem. Begin your research methodology section by listing the problems or questions you intend to study. You have to include your hypothesis if applicable or what you are setting out to provide through your research. In your restatement, include any underlying assumptions that you are making or conditions that you are taking for granted. These assumptions will also inform the research methods you have chosen. Generally, state the variables you will test and the other conditions you are controlling or assuming are equal. Generally, this is the second step of a research methodology process, which is you have to establish your overall methodological approach. Your overall approach will be either quantitative or qualitative. Occasionally, you may also use a mix of both approaches. Briefly explain why you choose your approach. If you want to research and document measurable social trends or evaluate the impact of a particular policy on various variables, use a quantitative approach focused on data collection and statistical analysis. If you want to evaluate people's view or understanding of a particular issue, you have to choose a more quality approach. You can also combine the two. For example, you might look primarily at a measurable social trend, but also interview people and get their opinions on how the trend is affecting their lives. This is the third step in the research methodology process, which you have to define how you collected or generated data. This portion of your methodology session tells you readers whether you were conducted your research and what basic parameters were put into place to ensure the relative objectivity of your results. For example, if you conducted a survey, you would describe the questions included in the survey, where and how the surveys were conducted, such as in person, online, over the phone, how many surveys were distributed, and how long your respondents had to complete the survey. Include enough detail that your study can be replicated by others in your field, even if they may not get the same results you did. And the fourth step, which is you have to provide background for uncommon methods. Particularly in the social sciences, you may be using methods that are typically used or that don't seem to fit with your research problem. These methods may require additional explanation. For example, qualitative research methods typically require more detailed explanation than quantitative methods. Basic investigative procedures do not need to be explained in detail. Generally, you can assume that your readers have a general understanding of common research methods that social scientists use, such as surveys or focus groups. Then the fifth one, which is cite any sources that are contributed to your choice of methodology. If you used anyone else's work to help your craft or apply your methodology, discuss those works and how they are contributed to your own work, or how your work is building on their thesis. For example, suppose you conducted a survey and used a couple of other research papers to help to construct questions on your survey. You would mention those conducting sources or else contributing sources. Then the second method, which is you have to explain your selection criteria for data collection. If you are collecting primary data, you are likely to set eligibility parameters. You have to state those parameters clearly and let your readers know why you are setting those parameters and how they are important to your research. First thing, you have to describe study participants specifically and list any inclusion or exclusion criteria you used when formatting or forming your group of participants. And also you have to justify the size of your sample if applicable, and describe how this affects whether your study can be generalized to larger populations. For example, if you conducted a survey of 30% of the student population of a university, you could potentially apply those results to the student body as a whole, but maybe not to the students to other universities. Then the second one, which is you have to distinguish your research from any weakness in your methods. Every research method has strength and weakness. You have to briefly discuss the weakness or the criticisms of the methods you have chosen. Then explain how those are irrelevant or inapplicable to your particular reason. Reading other research papers is a good way to identify potential problems that commonly arise with various methods. You have to state whether you actually encountered any of these common problems during your research. Then you have to describe how you overcome obstacles. Overcoming obstacles in your research can be one of the most important parts of your methodology. Your problem solving abilities can enhance your readers' confidence in the results of your study. If you encountered any problems as you collected data, explain clearly the steps you took to minimize the effect that problem would have on your results. So guys, I think this video will be helpful for you. You may know how to write a research methodology. So if you like my video, please subscribe my channel. If you have any other queries or doubts regarding this or any other else, you can comment us below, or else you can contact us through our WhatsApp number or mail us through our mail ID. Thanks for watching.